Butler wasted no time, driving in for the Heat's first bucket and many more. After that, he would score 12 of Miami's first 20 points and then just kept going from there. This cross on Tyrone Wallace, not nice.
Oh.
Not nice. There were also plenty of moments like this. Jimmy voluntarily taking a Cam Reddish elbow to the face to draw the call.
Not so much right
And
here.
somewhere, Alonzo Mourning is nodding and smiling.
I love that.
Butler has a reputation for wanting to be a team's alpha, and that's certainly earned. But he is never among the league leaders in usage. He has a track record of leaving room for his teammates to also flourish. And last night, that teammate was Tyler Herro, who broke out with a 19-point second quarter.
Great name.
Herro was just an absolute marksman. Look at this. Make. Just make.
Yeah.
He would finish the night with 29 points, the most scored by a Heat rookie since Dwayne Wade did it in 2004. Now, afterward, Herro played that part down. But obviously, if you are hitting any of Wade's records just 4 games into your rookie season, things are going well for you. There was one damper on last night's game. Trae Young, who had gotten off to an absolutely sizzling start this season, left in the second quarter with that ankle sprain you're watching. Now, fortunately, follow-up evaluations this morning found no significant injury. Young didn't even need an MRI, and he is expected back next week. Butler is expected back next game. Like every parent in the world, his work routine will now be a juggle.
He's a baby
but
Butler.
He won't miss any more time and said his new role as a dad will give him even more purpose.
I started looking at life different a long time ago, but I definitely look at it way differently now. I feel like every time I leave the house, every time I hop in the car, anytime I do anything, it's like, yo, I got to make it home. So I look forward to having that feeling for the rest of my life.
Butler realizes he's still got a bunch of sleepless nights ahead of him, but as he showed last night, his game is fully awake and ready for a real run in Miami.
He's not getting sun out there.
He's You're really upset with the hand.
I just.
You got
it's
daughter,
like, it's
not
like
son.
Look,
You got daughter.
look at the jokes are. They have Dave McMenamin's hand in Jimmy Butler's face. It's just not saying Dave is
Part
the most.
of the humor.
And I'm pointing out Is it not funny if you point it out?
I want to know what you think about Jimmy Butler's
the actual
on-court
stuff?
action. How do you think he fits in with the Heat?
I think he fits in great. One, they're looking for an alpha, right? So I think that's great. And the second part about it is that there are a couple of places that you can go where you have to fit into and know that you're going to fit. San Antonio, Miami, Pat Riley, Pop. So when you go there, you know that this is not about me. This is about B coming in and fitting in. And I think Jimmy can relinquish some of the kind of stuff that might have followed him, showing up in a place he wanted to be.
But I think in terms of the personality, they're fitting around him, not the opposite way around. He could have been the third cog with the Lakers potentially, had they gone down that road. He could have returned to Philadelphia and played part of that system. But he got to be the guy down in Miami, and now they have some younger pieces that are fitting alongside him, clearly as the betas. Even someone who has an alpha personality like Deion Waiters has, he's basically been out of the picture based on the.
What were you going to say? No, I'm just saying it from a standpoint of he's not fitting in.
But he believes. No, I'm saying. But
Deion Waiters'
the team
problems
is doing
don't
what they
seem
can.
to be. Deion Waiters' issues don't seem to revolve around Jimmy Butler. They seem separate and dealing with the coaching staff. Deion Waiters is no longer suspended. He was spending some time, even after his one-game suspension, he was spending some time away from the team. He has returned to the team as of yesterday. We don't know when he will be back.
Thank you for that Wikipedia entry and all the correct information. No, I wasn't insinuating that. I'm just saying. My point is, though, the team has made it clear that this is all about Jimmy Butler this year, and he is not running with it and being a tyrant with it thus far. It seems like he is trying to find a role that will help everyone else. And, you can say what you want about him, but he has the work ethic, and he has the want to be the guy late in games. He's leading scorer in the fourth quarter last year for the Philadelphia 76ers. When you talk about a group that is still trying to figure out who they are, it's really nice to have that piece in place already. So it's like when the games get tight, we know who the guys are. And if we just had to play hard as Bam Adebayo or Justin Winslow or Tyler Herro for the first 3 quarters and then hand it over to Jimmy, what a great situation to be in.
And that's the thing that I think they're going to miss in Philly. We're not going to talk about Philly too much, but it's like that last 5 minutes was Jimmy Butler time.
Yes.
Right? It was not Tobias Harris time. It was not Ben Simmons time, and it wasn't Joel Embiid time. It was Jimmy Butler time. And so, yes, to be in a place, like you said, where, hey, Jimmy, it's yours. You're not in Minnesota anymore. You're not going to ask to be something in Philly. This is yours. Go do it.
And for all the thorny sides he has to him, when he was in Philly last year, when I was covering them in the playoffs, every single post-game press conference, which was a huge part of the playoff experience for guys, he was sitting next to Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid had a tough playoffs last year, missing some time and dealing with the knee injury and all that stuff and some sickness. And Jimmy was right there to take the heat, to be maybe a bodyguard or perhaps a buddy for Embiid. That's leadership.
Maybe even
and he's
Butler.
Oh, he brought it back. He brought it back.
Yeah, and again, there's a reason you're on a sports show, not a comedy show. It's amazing. I was backing up your point about Deion Waiters, saying it was not a Jimmy issue. It was a totally separate issue. And look, to your point about the team fitting into team culture, I think when you go to a place like a Heat and you're Jimmy Butler, he doesn't have to adjust because the things that he's had issues with, guys don't play as hard as me, right? That was one of his issues in Minnesota, right? He's like, guys don't know who they are and who they're supposed to be on the team. That was another issue with Tibbs and the Timberwolves. Both of those are always taken care of on a Pat Riley team.
Yes.
Guys are playing hard and everyone knows their role.
But the one thing about being an alpha and the greatest ones that I've played with and watched, they raise people's level. You don't just complain about it and they're like, you're right. They're not playing as hard, so we're going to get them out, and we're going to build around you, and we're going to get people in here that do play as hard as you because that's the standard that we want to. But that was never the case in the last few places. They were like, all right, well, we're going to get you out.
Well, that was not the case. It didn't seem in Minnesota. In Philadelphia, I back up what Dave said.
Yes.
Joel Embiid sat with me a month ago and said, I wish Jimmy Butler was still on this team.
Yeah.
I wanted them to re-sign him. We could have been, partners for life was the way he spoke of it. So I think he did help his teammates. We had that sort of Wired video, right, during one of the playoff games of him trying to back up and hype up Joel. So I think he's done that. I think obviously he's a strong personality, but that strong personality fits in Miami. And they do want him to be that late game guy. So him wanting to be the guy isn't a problem there either.
No.
In the end, you got to find the place that fits the peg that you are. Richard is still looking for that place. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. We'll find out the rest of the show. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.